Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Masters Thursday to you all. Joe Calabro and Rich Capali here, as per usual. First round of the Masters in the books. The show will heavily be about the Masters, our observations, our thoughts, and our thoughts going forward. We do have a couple quick house cleaning items to go over, but that won't take much time at all. So let's just get to it because that's what everyone's tuning in for. Rich, your opening thoughts on round one of the Masters, a little bit different than what we watched in November, huh?
Oh, man, the course is biting back, boys. Significantly different than what we saw in November. Obviously, the rain that weekend in November didn't do the course justice, real soft, whatever. Augustus is back with a vengeance this week, boys.
Justin Rose is in the lead at 7 under. He was a birdie short of having the biggest first round lead in Masters history at 7 under, as I just mentioned. Why don't we start with this? Why don't we start with you giving kind of a rundown of the leaderboard, and then we can kind of go through it. I know we want to pick apart Jordan Spieth's round because his decision on the 11th hole, whatever hole that was a complete disaster.
Yes,
but we'll
sir.
get to that in a second. So why don't you just give a quick rundown of the leaderboard, top 5 or 10, whatever,
Yeah.
and some notables, and we'll go from there.
All right, like Joe said, we got Justin Rose at 7 under, played pretty much an immaculate round, aside from like maybe a hiccup or two.
He had two bogeys on the front.
Yeah,
Then he had that ridiculous
I think he
run.
bogeyed one and 3, I think, or something like that. Yeah,
Run and 3, and then he eagled 8,
eagle to 8,
birdie 9,
birdie 9, birdie 10. Yeah. Oh, his scorecard was filled with circles. So Justin Rose leading the pack at 7 under. A distant second is Brian Harmon at 3 under with Hideki Matsuyama. He led the morning group at 3 under. He was the leader of the morning group. Will Zalatoris 2 under. Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout, Patrick Reed are all at 2 under. Jason Kokrak, Shane Lowry, Tyrell Hatton, Jordan Spieth all at 1 under. Some other notables: Kevin Kisner's even, Xander Schauffele even, John Rahm, Leishman's even. Let's see what else we got. Gary Woodland's 1 over. Victor Hovland's 1 over after his scorecard. His scorecard was full of circles and squares today. Paul Casey 1 over. Justin Thomas, Morikawa is actually on the 18th right now. Oh no, he just went final at 1 over. Let's see what else we got. Bernard Langer in the mix at 2 over, give or take.
And he bogeyed the last 2. Remember Fallow told that story about him. He was pissed because he bogeyed the last 2 holes to finish at 2 over. He probably should have been we didn't see the bogeys, but I'm guessing he probably thought he should have been an even par.
Also in the mix, Brooks Koepka coming off the bum knee and the weird straddle that he's doing to line up putts.
Power Rangers.
The Power Rangers. And Dustin Johnson, that super terrible bogey on the 18. That was double bogey. I'm sorry.
Yep.
They're sitting at 2 over. What else we got? Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood 2 over. Molinari and Palmer at 2 over. Max Homa, Finau, Cameron Smith at 2 over. Sorry. Let's see. We got Phil ended at 3 over. So he caught another bogey at the end there. That's pretty much it. Danny Willett at 4 over. I mean, who really cares about that? Rory at 4 over. He just had a hell of a day,
including hitting his father,
hitting his own father. One of my dark horses, Jason Day, 5 over. Who knows if he's going to even make the cut? And let's talk a little bit. Let's branch off a little bit and talk about Mr. DeChambeau. What we watched today.
Can this guy play Augusta National? Or
I don't think so. Not? I told you we were sitting here having a couple beers, and it's like
where is he?
He's at 5.
You say him?
4 over. Sorry. 4 over. Let's take a detour on there right now.
So Bryson DeChambeau once again was a story coming into the tournament. He won the U.S. Open at Winged Foot to his credit. He's played well the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. He won Bay Hill.
Right? Bay Hill, correct. Yeah,
second.
Absolutely overpowered that golf course.
Then he finished second, I think, the next week at TPC. He finished second to JT.
Yeah.
The next week. So he's been playing well. And once again, coming into this week, he's talking about hitting it over trees and doing this and that. And then he completely goes out and craps his pants right on the first few holes.
Yep.
And you're just like,
I mean,
what are we
when
doing?
we were watching, he tried to cut corners over trees at least 3 times when coverage was on him, and he failed all 3 times. Like deep, he was deep outside the ropes and outside the tree line.
What was it? The fifth hole, he was behind the he was in the woods behind the urinals.
Behind the yep,
Right,
yeah.
something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
it's just
Porta potties. They're not called
yeah,
urinals. Sorry,
yeah,
porta
porta
potties.
potties.
You get the point. And so
And the reason why he's getting so much crap is, last year before the November Masters, he said that he could beat Augusta at a 67.
it was a par 67.
And now he's just getting absolutely his butt handed to him the past, 2 years. Something's got to change, otherwise he's not even going to come close.
What is it that he has to change? Does he have to play more strategic? Does he have to look at it as a more strategic?
Yeah,
thing?
you can't. I mean,
put away the big stop drive and just play the fairway.
From what I gather, all the years I've watched Augusta, all the golf I've watched over the years with the Masters and stuff like that, Augusta seems to be like more of a target golf course than a driving golf course. Hit it in certain spots, so you're in the right spots. You cut the corner too much, you're going to block yourself out for your second shot. He needs to play more target golf than overpower golf. You know what I mean? That's what I see from just a like a TV watcher of the Masters. Obviously, I've never been there, so I don't know, but
well, it's much more hillier than it looks on television.
Exactly. So he's cutting corners and he's putting himself in, like, even with our games, we're like, how bad is it when we're not in position off the tee?
Well, I mean,
no, that's the number one. Be in position off the tee. That with my game, once I'm out of position off the tee, it's lights out. It's done. The hole's over. So yeah, he needs to. We
also just pick up and take our 7.
True.
they have to play the
yeah. So I believe he should play more target golf. Hit his spots in, make a par, sometimes make a birdie, this and that. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to survive there. I'm not going to lie.
Now the other interesting thing about DeChambeau, which and I got to give him credit, and I like him. So, but Brendan Chambly said last night on Live From that one big thing is that DeChambeau and other tournaments he uses a green book. He looks at the green book.
Yeah.
At Augusta, they say no.
Okay.
They don't allow green books. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know they didn't use yardage books.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
okay.
yardage books. They don't allow green books.
Oh, okay.
DeChambeau has a separate green book that he brings
to
these courses.
Oh, okay.
These other tournaments. That's why when it takes him 2 minutes and 25 seconds to putt on a hole.
Yeah.
And at Augusta, they don't allow that. They don't allow the books. And so one theory is
he missed a bunch of putts too. You're right.
So one theory is that he's completely lost on the greens because he's so used to looking at the damn book.
And especially it's completely the opposite of what it was in November. So he really has nothing to go off of. So.
And November didn't work out too great for him.
No, same stuff. It's crazy.
So we have him crapping his pants already. I'm not sure what the cut line is going to be. We'll have to wait and find out. It feels like it's going to be
7 under. So Rose is at 7 under.
Feels like it'll be +1, +2, maybe.
Probably hovering around that.
Unless he goes completely crazy in the morning.
Yeah. Because he's in the morning. So who knows? The course will be a little less firm in the morning. So who knows? He could shoot another 7 under.
And especially if they get rain. I don't think they didn't end up getting rain.
I think it's going to be pretty clear throughout the whole week. So
because as I said, chances of rain on a couple of days. So the Masters is off and running. Pretty fun stuff today. Let's get to where we want to go. Do we want to go to Jordan Spieth next? Do you want to go to some other guys
whatever
next?
you want to do.
So Jordan Spieth, and I'm a huge Jordan Spieth fan. I met him at Brown. I tell the story a million times, but met him at Brown. His brother played for Brown basketball team, Steven. I think he's overseas playing somewhere now. Anyway, today, what hole is that, 11? Where he tries to hit it through the trees, bounces on the tree, and go backwards.
Hit the biggest tree out of the bunch. Tried to thread the needle. Me and you were looking at like you should have just went 90 degrees.
Punched out to the left.
Punched out to the left, 90 degrees, and take his medicine. Nope. Tries to punch it out. The ball flies on him, hits the tree dead in the middle, and goes back like 20, 30 yards.
At least.
Like it was just a disaster, and it didn't really get that much better after that.
And then he ended up making triple bogey on the hole. He's really not in the tournament. He's in the tournament, but not in the tournament. He kind of got it back. He got back to 1 over.
Yeah.
And I forgot I know you just went through it, but
yeah.
He's still over par today. I thought that was one of the dumbest decisions this early in the tournament. If it's Sunday, Sunday, and you're trying to go for it, whatever, maybe you consider that.
Yeah, of
On
course.
Thursday, why do that?
No,
You
you're just taking
punch out.
yourself out of position early in the tournament.
Joe Sago, your buddy, he missed you today playing golf. He says,
Where was the call? I didn't get a call.
that was a joke. He says Justin Rose will come back to the field tomorrow. Do you see Justin Rose coming back at all?
I mean, if he plays like today, he's going to shoot like 8-9 under tomorrow. You know what I mean? If the conditions are a little bit soft and they can go at the pins, he could shoot another 7, 8, 9. Like he could be like 14, 15, 16 under by the end of the day tomorrow. By the end of the midday. So who knows? I mean, it all depends on how the greens change overnight. If they're a little bit softer in the morning, like they were this morning, he's gonna play target golf and he's just gonna stick it.
Now he's also had the lead of the Masters before though.
True.
The past of the first round.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hasn't. I don't want to say he hasn't come close because he's finished top 10 a few times. So
Yeah.
certainly closer than we'll ever finish. But so we'll see. I hope he comes back to the field. I want the tournament to be competitive.
Yeah.
Right? We want some excitement going into Sunday when we're hopefully maybe we watch it together on Sunday. We want some excitement.
Yeah.
To go into it. Are the guys that are directly chasing him? Are you surprised by anybody? Are you excited to see anybody contend? Are you excited about a Patrick Reed? Are you surprised by a Patrick Reed? Are you excited about any of those guys?
I've always liked Matsuyama. I've liked his game. He's an absolute stud. I'm not surprised by him. Webb Simpson. I don't know if I told you this, but I had picked him as like not a dark horse, but like a top 5 before the round started. Patrick Reed, he's 2 under, 5 shots off the lead. I think P. Reed should be able to get a bunch of birdies tomorrow to cut into that lead a little bit. Like Spieth's -1, so he's right there too.
Oh, Spieth got to -1.
He got to -1. So
he's the momentum.
Yeah, he got a little bit of momentum.
He goes off in the morning now too.
Yeah.
Spieth goes off in the morning. Rose is in the morning.
And you got Schauffele sitting at even too.
Schauffele,
I mean, I picked Schauffele the past couple of years because just his game is so good. But yeah, to what Joe said, to what Sargo said, I think he comes back a little bit. It all depends on what happens overnight with the greens. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have that going on. One thing that I was interested in watching was because everyone talked about him coming in, Patrick Cantlay. Never heard from much from him. But I don't know if maybe he had the morning tea time, but he wasn't much of a factor. Colin Morikawa I thought was going to play a little bit better than he did.
your boy Sergio's 4 over, by the way.
Yep. Congratulations to him. He got
Cantlay 7 over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Tied for 80th.
Good thing I didn't bet him.
Yeah. He's only 3 better than 2 better than Sandy Lyle.
Yeah. And my boy Westy.
Yeah, Westy. Oh, what a mistake that was, huh?
Yeah. So for those that are interested, none of my bets are doing all that great today. Where's John Rahm? Did you mention John Rahm?
Romer. I think
was
he's
up there,
2 over.
right?
I think, right?
He fell back with 2 over.
Romer. Where are we?
He was hanging around the even par earlier. But yeah, none of my bets are doing too great. I had Westwood. He stinks today. I stunk today. Louis Oosthuizen, useless. John Rahm, no, we can't even find him. That's how bad he was.
Oh, he's even.
All right.
Yeah, he's right in the
okay.
mix. Yeah.
And then I forgot the other
Jason
Day.
Day, right? 5 over.
He was irrelevant today too.
Yeah.
I just had a feeling on Jason Day because he was the first one to arrive at Augusta.
Yeah.
He was putting on the green.
A lot of guys. His
for
name came up a
hours.
lot. His name came up a
hours.
lot in on Twitter and stuff like that. So,
But to be fair, and we've seen this movie before. There's a lot of golf. There's a lot of golf left.
Oh yeah.
For the week. So
on Morikawa, I thought he would have sat at maybe 1 or 2 under, give or take. He had a couple rough breaks with the putter, so hopefully he'll bounce back. Cameron was it Cameron Smith too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He
you liked him coming in.
I liked
I told
him
you last
coming
time. I
in.
said, well, this isn't November.
Yeah,
second
he's
last
sitting
year.
at 2 over, so that's not really It's
What
not
did you
really
make of? We didn't see a ton of DJ today because he was in the morning.
Mm.
What do you make of his round? Were you surprised that he struggled so much? He hasn't been
Decent.
playing that great.
decent.
lately.
I think he played decent, not great.
Like
That
you
chip in
mentioned-
from the back of the green was fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously,
And you mentioned that the double on 18 was terrible.
That was. I mean, he
Can't do
overcut his drive. He tried to cut the corner on the trees on 18, and he paid for it, and he ended up making double. So, he was sitting at even before that. So, I mean, it's huge risk reward at this place. Obviously, we all know that.
For sure. Just to go back to Bryson for a second, because I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting when you talk about the USGA looking at distances and club changes. When you look at a guy like Bryson who has all this distance, and it's really the reason that the USGA is talking about it. And it's like, well, he comes to this course and he can't. He's not like he's like tearing up the field, you know.
I know.
So it's like interesting, like where in there's charts and people show. They also find charts on Twitter. Brandon Chambly retweets every single one of them.
And there was a couple
like,
tee shots where he roasted drivers, and he was in immaculate position, but he couldn't
like
cut.
on 10, remember?
Roasted it,
he
absolutely
crushed it.
tattooed it, and he didn't do
He
anything with it. I think he
put a second shot like 15 yards past hole. Remember?
Yeah.
He almost made. Now you went to the bathroom, but he almost made the putt coming back. But the point is, he's not like crushing the course. I never thought he was going to crush.
It's crazy.
The course, he's not crushing the par fives either.
No.
And other guys that hit it, normal.
And it's not like he's even.
Distance.
It's not like he's even taking advantage of the drives that he does hit.
No.
Like it's crazy.
So the Masters is underway. Thursday at the Masters. We'll see what happens this weekend, obviously, and we'll get back to it as well. Thanks to Caitlin Allen for watching, my mother for watching, Richard White for watching, and your boy Joe Sagro for watching. I'm sure the room will continue to populate throughout the show. A couple of local house cleaning items, if you will. I always hear that term used, so I might as well use it. House cleaning. Because I don't clean the house, so
housekeeping issues,
house cleaning,
yeah,
whatever, same thing. Thanks to everybody for the support on the Woonsocket Dynasty story. It's gotten great reviews. Everyone I've talked to, whether it's people I know or it's random people, not random, but people coming up to me, saying what a great story. People commenting on the page. Thanks to everybody for liking it, for sharing it, for reading it. It was really a lot of fun. Thanks also to special thanks to the Woonsocket team guys, Dan Cesaroni and John O'Clair, who I know friendly with personally, for helping me out and helping put that whole thing together. It took a lot of work. It was a lot of research, but it was a lot of fun as well. And also thanks to Jim Beauregard, who helped us over the phone as well. So thanks to that. I continue to read it. It's a pretty cool story, and it's really not just about the team. It's really more about the development of Rhode Island golf from '67 to the mid '80s and how the game changed just in that time. You see because we had the season averages of scores, and in the '60s, in '67, Charlie Smith was the only player shooting in the '70s. Everybody else was in the '80s. By the time you get to '83, everybody was shooting in the '70s,
yeah.
And maybe one or two players would average in the '80s. So it was pretty fascinating to write and to research the whole thing. And then obviously we factored in, in '73, Dana Quigley went pro. Then '83, Faxon went pro, and Billy Andre committed to Wake Forest. And so that was kind of interesting how that all played out. And really, the only reason that was in there, not that they had anything to do with the Woonsocket team necessarily, but it just gives you an idea of where we were in Rhode Island history at that time. So thanks to everybody for sharing and reading and liking the story. I know it's a bit long. We was going to split it into two. We were going to try to split it into two parts, into the two-part series. And as I'm writing it, I'm like, there's no definitive point.
There's
to
nowhere
where
I
split
can.
this.
Yeah, there's
You know what I
nowhere I
mean?
can draw the line.
Some stories that you're right, there's a definitive point where you can split it, and there's not really one. So we just kept it as one long piece. So I mean, it's fine. There's tons of breaks in it. There's subheaders and photos and old photos. So there's opportunities for people to put it down for a second. But anyway, thanks to everybody on that. A couple of other local things. Today I reported that V Golf and Lewis Quizzit, they received perfect COVID compliance scores. They are the third Rhode Island golf businesses to be listed since last October. We did a story a month ago or so where the Rhode Island Department of Business Regulations, literally they do these lists and you see them. They have the compliance and the non-compliance, whatever, and they literally hadn't had a golf-related business or a club on there for months and months and months. I would check every week because, well, for being honest, it's good content.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And nothing. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, they had Newport Indoor Golf on there. That was the first one they had since like October. And now this week they had V Golf, which is in Cranston, and Lewis Quizzit Golf Club, which obviously is in North Providence. So that's what we had today. And in the college golf scene, college golf is completely underway for sure. Davis Chatfield, former our amateur champion, he is now number 223 in the PGA Tour University rankings. When the season kind of started, or when they started his rankings for this year, he was in like the 300s. So he's moved up significantly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's playing well for Notre Dame. And then obviously we have Will Dixon at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's actually getting ready for the ACC championship. Will Dixon finished 15th at the Calusa Cup this past weekend, and Georgia Tech actually lost to Patrick Welch's Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma finished number 1. Georgia Tech finished number 2. Tech beat out 4 nationally ranked teams.
Wow.
To finish second.
Nice.
So they're red hot going into the ACC tournament coming up. It's going to be really exciting when the NCAA tournament comes.
Oh yeah, I love
NCAA
when they have that
championship.
on Golf Channel. I love it. It's
So
awesome.
and that's not that far away, and especially if there's some locals in it. There'll be some real reason to watch and do previews for it and everything. So Oklahoma actually won as I mentioned, Oklahoma won the Calusa Cup. They actually dropped to number 2 in the country recently. I'm guessing they're going to be back to number 1 when the new rankings come out. So that is that locally. Local college golf, don't forget about them. URI won their last tournament. So congrats to them. Bryant finished second. URI and Bryant will play each other this coming Monday in the URI Invitational at Quidesta Country Club. On Monday, it's a 36-hole tournament, one-day tournament. So I'm going to try to go down there on Monday afternoon and cover it. Maybe do a live from there, something along those lines. So local golf is heating up as well. Obviously, these teams have chances to do something, and so that's pretty exciting. So that's kind of the local golf stuff. Dave Levesque says, "Great show." Thanks, Dave. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And really appreciate everybody tuning in as well. So yeah. But that's what we have going on at a local level. Not a ton of other things. Actually, what was interesting going back to the Masters, because we did an article about it, I reached out to Peter May, was, there's been a lot of debate about, this April, there's been a lot of debate about how we should view the 2020 Masters in November. And it was interesting. Some analysts said that it should be viewed, and Brandel Chambly actually compared it to the Hail America Open, which of course is the theme of Peter May's book that we're promoting. And again, there's going to be a book signing for Peter May at King's Crossing on May 29th. I said May 29th. I think May 29th. So it was funny how that kind of all tied in. And so I reached out to Peter May the next day, and we did an article, and it's up on our website as well. But other than the Hail America Open, what do you think about that debate? About do you think that November Masters should be viewed differently in hindsight?
We're talking like maybe like an asterisk or something like that,
right? And to be clear, I mean the Hail America Open did count for Ben Hogan. No one's saying that the Masters shouldn't count. No one's saying that shouldn't count. But should it be viewed like?
I mean, it's always going to be viewed as the November Masters, the year of COVID. It's always going to.
Right. That's the same way for all sports too.
I don't think that. No,
But-
I don't think it's just the November Masters during the pandemic. I mean, I don't really take anything away from DJ because he flat out roasted the field. So, I mean, like you said, you could say the same thing about the Lightning when they won their cup. They didn't, they were in one spot the whole time. They didn't have to travel across the country, and everything else, like the NBA, all that stuff. They were all in one spot. So it was like, no, I DJ dusted the field, and that's that. It like you said, it'll forever be remembered as the pandemic year when the Masters was in November. But no, I don't take anything away from it.
So one thing that was up for debate was DJ's record-setting score of 20 on the par, and Peter May raised a good point in that everybody else was playing the same course, right? Everybody else was playing, generally speaking. Everybody else was
obviously
course.
it wasn't as firm as it was
Obviously,
as it is today.
easy. I mean, let's just be
Playing
honest.
easy, ball marks, huge divots in the fairway, stuff like that. But like you said, everybody played the same course, and he dusted everybody that was playing the same course. So I don't see how you can like put an asterisk or anything like that next to his name.
All right. Do you have anything going on at King's Crossing coming up? And then I want to get back into.
I know there's
some of the Masters stuff,
there's a scramble, a 4-man scramble on the 18th. I will not be participating. I'm going to the Bruins game that day. But yeah, definitely call the pro shop. It's from what I saw on Sunday, the list is filling up quick. We got like a 2-page list for it. So definitely call the pro shop and sign up for that. I'm going to talk to Peter and Rob this weekend about putting a tournament schedule out. I'm not sure how far along they are. We should be getting a tournament schedule soon, and we'll definitely put that up for everyone.
Is there going to be a member, a guest?
That I don't know. That's usually what
I don't know. Last year the year we played. It was early.
It was like June, right?
2 years
I think
ago,
it was
right?
June, right?
It was pretty early on.
It was like early June. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be a 2-day like we played in, but yeah, hopefully we get some interest this year. We got a lot of new members, and
Nice,
hopefully
good.
we can. That'd be great if it's a 2-day because you have 2 different formats every day, and it's just fun. We had a lot of fun.
Well, I'm not going to make any comments regarding format. We talked about this before.
Oh, of course.
I'll leave those comments to myself.
Yeah.
But yes, hopefully they can have a 2-day member guest at King's Crossing. Like you said, that's great that they're getting a lot of new members. I know we did a lot of promotion for them, or have done a lot of promotion for them, and that's fine. That's what we want to do for every club. The other quick thing is Harbor Lights is opening their indoor restaurant on April 15th, and the outdoor restaurant, famously Par and Tackle, on May 1st. And we have a story tomorrow with details. But if you're interested, Quinessa is hiring banquet room servers. So, and again, we'll have that story up tomorrow. I didn't want to overcrowd everybody.
Oh, the Red Sox won again. Jeez Louise.
Hey, imagine that. Book them for the World Series. So that's some of the local stuff that we touched on. Again, tons of content coming up this weekend. As far as Masters stuff, obviously we'll have a Masters story probably on Saturday, probably even Friday night with the cut, and then probably even Saturday night. My Saturday night PGA Tour stories generally do pretty well. So I'll be studying the transcripts of the press conferences and seeing what everyone has to say. Hopefully something crazy happens. That always works out well.
Of course, yeah.
So we'll have tons of content with that. Tomorrow, we actually really exciting. We'll actually have a story about Brooks Koepka's injury. Today I talked to a doctor at the University of Orthopedics, and he discussed Koepka's injury and what it's like for him and what it all means. And so there's not a ton of details on Koepka's injury released, the surgery that he had 24 days ago, approximately. And so we have details on that from a doctor at the University of Orthopedics. So super excited to talk to him today. What he said pretty much was fascinating. He said, basically, just to give everyone a teaser, he basically said that a normal person takes about 4 to 6 months to recover from the
3
surgery.
weeks. He had it 3 weeks ago. It's crazy.
So he basically said, the fact that he's even playing just tells you what the Masters means to these guys. But we'll have more details on that tomorrow. I don't want to give all of his quotes away.
And not to mention, like you said, Augusta is significantly more hilly than it portrays in on TV. So that you got to take that into effect. Bending down, reading putts, sand shots, pine straw shots. They all affect the footing differently. So he's gonna be super sore tomorrow.
Well, he said, probably sore right now.
Oh yeah. Especially after the next day,
Thankfully, he's dating Jenna Sims, so I think he's okay.
She'll get it.
Engaged to Jenna Sims, so I think he's all right. You said he's 2 over right now?
2 over, yeah.
Do you think he has a chance to contend? I mean, can you put it around together? It'd be a heck of a story.
It's Brooks, man. If he can get it down to like under par, he's got a shot. I mean, like I said, it all depends on what Rosie does tomorrow, and maybe Matsuyama too, because those are the two guys that played the best today. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, he got a taste of what it's going to be like. Is he going off in the morning or he's going off in the afternoon?
Should be the afternoon.
The afternoon. So
should be the
course
afternoon.
is going to be playing a lot harder than it was this morning. So you just got to adapt.
That's for sure. So my mother says she is watching from Matunic Oyster Bar. Perfect. Caitlin says Patrick Reed is in contention. Maybe he'll cheat again. There's always a chance. These people are brutal, huh?
She's definitely your girlfriend.
These people are brutal. So there's definitely a chance of that. So, so tons going on. Let's get back into the Masters, because that's what everyone wants to talk about. That's the big event, obviously. What are you looking for the weekend? What are you expecting? What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping JT gets his head out of his ass. Like he had some decent shots, and then he had some really bad shots.
Amazing shot that he stuck on. What was that?
10? Oh, that was nice. Yeah, inside 2.5 feet.
Tapping birdie, that essentially.
My watch out for is Siwoo Kim. He's 1 under. Maybe I'm hoping Spieth can reel it back in a little bit.
Well, he got back on the par.
Yeah. He had a decent showing at the end. Maybe Matt Wolff can maybe make a couple birdies. He's sitting at 4 over. Morikawa as well. He's at 1 over. So I'd like to see some of the betting favorites reel it back in and make it at least a little bit interesting for us betting folk. But like I said, it's all about conditions. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be all about conditions tomorrow.
Some guy named Rick Capali is watching the show.
Who's that? I'm not familiar.
Thanks for watching, Rick. Hope all is well with you. What do you make of what Rory's going through especially at Augusta? I mean, he seems like he struggles every year at Augusta, no matter what.
It's in his head, man.
He did just switch his coach. He's now with Pete Cowan. And they showed him warming up on the range, practicing on the range yesterday. And Cowan was telling him, because he was pointing. Yeah. There was no videos or anything going on.
I'm telling you, man, but it's up there. Bryson got in his head, man, and I think it was the wrong time frame for him, because he did it with what? Was it the match play or was it Bayhill?
I think it was the match play.
Match play. That was the wrong time to mess with things, especially this is the number 1 major of the year. It was the wrong time to do it. Experiment, mid-season or end of the season or something like that. I think it's all in his head. He's got to go back to his old roots. I mean, like, obviously his old swing from 4 months ago was fine. He was like top 5 in the world. So he needs to stop trying to challenge. I mean, he hits the ball like 320 anyways. What does he say?
We talked about this earlier, but Mario Martone says that
he's here. What up, Mario?
He hopes DeChambeau goes down in flames.
Oh boy.
He has no sympathy for Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh boy.
He says that guy loves the smell of his own farts.
All right.
We touched on DeChambeau earlier, but do you have a follow-up thought on Mario's?
I'm in your boat. I don't dislike him. I don't he's not like my favorite player, but I'd like to see him. I like that drive that he hit on 10. I almost got out of my seat. He blistered that thing. The sound it made, the roll he got, the distance, it's good. I don't think that type of game is good for this course.
Clearly,
but he also overpowered Winged Foot. I mean, he was hitting drives in the rough at Winged Foot, and he was sticking them on the green. So, I mean, you got to kind of pick your battles when you have that type of game.
But this is the course, and like you mentioned, he did sort of jinx himself.
Of course,
Karma, as they say, karma is you know
yeah.
what?
Oh, of course.
I'm playing
par
this course.
67.
I'm playing this course at a
He's
par
getting roasted
67.
He's getting roasted on social media
Yeah,
for all his wayward drives. It's like, par 67. That's the only heading on these posts. It's amazing. It's hysterical.
Yeah. If you guys like memes, it's a great meme of DeChambeau in the
67.
bushes, and it says this is a par 67.
67. That's it.
And he looks like Rich and I looking for our bull in the bushes.
Oh yeah. So,
but what do you think? Looking for the weekend, and we touched on it a little bit. What are you looking forward to this weekend? How much harder is this course going to get?
I mean, if they don't get any rain, it's just going to keep firming up depending on the temperatures at night. I feel like, especially if the wind kicks up, there was a little bit of wind like mid-morning, mid-afternoon. That DJ said in his press conference, his interview at the end of his round, said that the wind was brutal out there. Obviously, we couldn't see it, but it was definitely testing the guys' games. So it all depends on the weather and what the greens do overnight.
For sure. Mario couldn't watch that. He wants to know where his boy Westy is. Your boy Westy is in pants crapping territory. Where are you going? Anyway, so I guess Rich quit the show. I don't know what happened. Westwood is tied for 75th, and I'm probably annoyed too as well, Mario, because he was one of my bets, and so far none of my bets are really working out other than John Rahm. So, yeah, he's not doing too well. I thought he was going to play well this week. He's one of the biggest losers in all of professional golf as far as majors. Maybe he didn't drink any Arnold Palmer's today, but you never know. I guess he could have one. Yeah, Westwood was terrible today. I don't know if he's going to make the cut. We're thinking the cut is going to be +1 or +2, and then we'll see where he is. But I don't think he's gonna make the cut, which annoys me because again I bet on him. So lots of master stuff to go through, but he's not doing too well. Jason Day is not doing too well. I bet on Jason Day only because I had this inkling that he was going to play well this week. He was the first person to show up at Augusta. He was on the putting green for hours, reportedly, and I just thought maybe this is kind of one of those things. And no, not so much. Mario was making fun of you for leaving. He says you had to top off your Arnie Palmy.
Yep.
So we can just call it that. We'll say he wishes he had to do that.
Oh, I wish
That's
I
the
had
problem.
myself an Arnie Palmy.
That's the problem. So, Rich, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Did you pick up any knowledge in the bathroom?
No. Nope.
Nope. I was just talking about Westwood's day and how he was never a factor.
No, not even.
I think
before I came over, before the ESPN coverage started, he didn't strike the ball particularly bad, but he was missing putts left and right. So he just couldn't get the flat stick going, unfortunately, for our good he's played the last 2 months. So It's a little sad.
Well, what's the best story that you're hoping for going forward for the weekend?
I'm kind of hoping.
What do you think?
Kind of hoping. I'm on your side, hoping for a closer round on Sunday. You know what I mean? Nobody, especially on a big major stage like this. Nobody wants to have blowouts. You know what I mean? I don't.
And they always from November, because that Masters Sunday in November was awful. That was
so
terrible.
bad. It was over on Saturday.
I think you even fell asleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
just like there was nothing to keep our attention. You know, DJ besides like a late hiccup. He was cruising. Yeah. I hope the field comes back together. I think these guys have an idea of what how the course is going to play. That's been the trend tonight of how the course is going to play. I think they were very surprised at how firm it really was,
especially the greens. I think they were.
Oh, that was crazy.
There's a quote circulating.
They were taking hot like second. The first bounces were like this high in the air. It was absolutely nuts. But yeah, I think course conditions definitely play a factor with the wind, obviously. And hopefully they got a lot of the guys got that figured out today.
As they say, the Masters doesn't really start until the back nine on Sunday. So
Yeah,
we're hoping for an exciting Amen Corner
yeah, oh yeah.
on Sunday. And I mean, I know today was supposed to be like an easy pin placement right in the middle of the bunkers on the par 3 at 12.
12, I think, yeah.
10 and then 11. 12 is the par 3.
Yeah.
But even that doesn't look like an easy pin
Well,
placement.
it was bouncing on concrete. It was crazy.
Because I thought Phil hit a great shot and he ends up in the bunker.
He missed it by like an inch and a half, 2 inches.
We thought he put it in the hole.
Yeah,
basically.
Absolutely crazy.
So there's that. What difference, if any, and they weren't that noticeable today. You did hear some roars, but what difference do you think the patrons will make going forward? Do you think it's going to be a factor?
I think
a big, and sorry to cut you off, but I think a big part of Dustin Johnson's win was there was no patrons. He wasn't hearing roars from anywhere.
Yeah, there was no noise.
He was just in his own little zone. The other guy behind him, Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim, yeah.
He. No offense, he doesn't speak English really, so
yeah,
he was kind of in his own zone. And Cameron Smith, was out of his comfort zone for sure. But
so I think that the crowds will get bigger per se as the week goes on. There'll be a lot more congregating over the leaders and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure there will be. Yeah.
Obviously tomorrow, like after the cut, Saturdays tee boxes and greens will be more populated. So I think it's gonna have a huge effect. A guy drains a long putt for a par to save par or to have a great birdie. That's gonna pump them up instead of just not hearing anything. So I think that the patrons are gonna have a huge effect on them.
And it was interesting during his press conference on Wednesday. Fred Ridley, the chairman of Augusta, every year he hosts a massive press conference. Generally, it's the day before. So this year was Wednesday. And they asked him how many fans were going to be on the premises, and he didn't give an answer. He didn't give an exact number. So
it didn't look like there was that many people there.
But then around some people, it did.
Exactly, like around DJ people. And shit like that. So, so it's like.
So what you said will be correct. They'll gather around the leaders
once they make the cut.
What you said is correct.
Yeah. Obviously, 18 on Sunday. Holy Marshawn, jeez Louise.
Yeah, Rick Capaldi, he comments. Wow. He must think this is a hockey podcast, but he says Monarchy scored a shorty.
Marshawn.
Yes.
Yeah, that's his old man typo, probably. His old man typo.
He must think
yes, that was
podcast,
disgusting. Yeah. Yes, Marshawn is an absolute beast, even though everybody hates him. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, the crowd. The fans. Oh yeah. The 18 is going to be 18 finally again. Thank God. 18 is going to be 18 on Sunday.
Amen Corner is going to be
Amen. Yeah, of course. Everybody's going to populate with the leaders and or the hot spots of the course. And I think it's going to be huge. Especially you're making Amen Corner. You're going to the 12. You're hitting balls into Race Creek and stuff like that. It's gonna wear on you. I.e. Jordan Spieth of what was that?
17 or 18.
6. Yeah. It just takes the wind out of your sails when there's like a hush over the crowd when you hit in the creek. So and then the roars pump you up. So yeah, it's good to have the fans back.
I mean, I think we're a really big factor is if some of these, big names can get themselves in contention. If Spieth's in contention, he's gonna have a huge following.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Reed and Justin Thomas have a huge following.
Oh yeah.
If some of these bigger names can get into the contention, then I think the patrons will get behind them for sure. We have a couple minutes left. Our guy Pat Ford has a show on at 8:30 tonight, so make sure you stick around for him. He has Blake Filippi on with him, so Pat is going to ask all the hard questions, whether you're one side or the other. I don't really know, but whatever. Tune into Pat Ford tonight at 8:30. That's all you need to know, and he'll be out right here on the Coalition Radio Network, and certainly grateful for everything he's done to help me out. So I figured I'd give him a little plug, but that's at 8:30, so in about 15 minutes. Real quickly, before we go, I do want to get your thoughts on this because we texted about it and you seem pretty passionate about it. And I find it fascinating. I just find the business side of it fascinating. So I'm not necessarily biased one way or the other. Fred Ridley announced on Wednesday that Augusta National is going to be featured in EA Sports' new video game coming out at some point. So the war between EA Sports and 2K is is picking up. I just think the whole thing is going to be fascinating. I don't know which game's going to be better or what. That's not what I'm playing.
Yeah.
But you were pretty passionate about your thoughts on them announcing Augusta National. Now, keep in mind, this comes a few weeks after 2K announced Tiger Woods.
Yeah. So
the war is going back and
this
forth.
is
I think the
a-
whole thing is fascinating.
this is
So
this
that's
is
my
a mind mess. You guys know what the word I'm thinking about. It's a mind bender. So I've had all the games, all the EA, all the Tiger Woods games, and I've had all the EA games, all the way from the original golf club.
The 2K games.
No, it was the golf club originally.
But you said
and
all,
then
you said all the Tiger games and all the EA games. The Tiger games.
No, I'm sorry, the Tiger
Yeah.
and the 2K,
Yeah, yeah.
including
Okay.
the original golf
That's what I
club and
make
golf
sure.
club too.
Keep
So
going.
what I don't understand is that EA is promoting Augusta when 2K has the course creator, and I played 3 versions of Augusta last night on the 2K course creator, and they're almost immaculate. They're almost like to scale of what Augusta really is,
Mhm.
from what I gather. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, no, I mean, you know Augusta. You know the game. So
I don't. So it's a changing of the guards. EA hasn't had a game since Rory McIlroy, like 13 or something like that, 14.
That failed epically.
Tiger goes to 2K. His branding goes to 2K. Now all of a sudden they have all Nike and all this stuff in the virtual pro shop and stuff like that. But now that 2K is getting Steam, now they're going to put out a new game with Augusta branding, which, if you remember, there was only one Tiger Woods game that had Augusta branding, and I think that was
The Masters.
the Masters edition. It was
It's right there, baby.
Yes, right here, 2012. So I think that's the Augusta branding is an attempt to trump 2K.
Yep.
So but like I said, 2K has pretty much it all. EA was more of like an arcade type of game, and 2K is more of like a simulator. Like
Mhm.
like 2K, EA is like more fun,
Right.
but 2K
Right.
everything affects the wind.
Tiger Focus and stuff on.
The spin. You could spin it like 60 yards ahead in your drives. Like that's a simulator on 2K, and not to mention you can legit like we saw with shout out to Mike Hamilton. He's recreating all the Rhode Island golf courses for us to play. You know,
And they all look
Augusta's on
exactly
there. Like Augusta's not a branded course on 2K.
Firethorn, right?
Yeah, something like that. Firethorn National, whatever.
Yeah.
But you have everything. You have Winged Foot on there. You have anything. Torrey Pines, all that stuff. So I don't think Augusta branding is enough for them to overtake 2K.
Well, the big thing going forward, and I mentioned this to you again, just in our own text to each other, is who they're going to announce as the face of EA Sports, right? Like 2K has JT. I mean, it'd be funny
2K
if EA, it'd be something if EA comes out with like Jordan Spieth or like DeChambeau or somebody like that.
Yeah, it's got to be like it's
it'd
got
be
to be
something.
that,
It'd
right?
be interesting. That's their next. That's their next launch.
probably DJ Spieth,
Could be
DeChambeau, maybe
Something
Schauffele, maybe
He's not a big enough
Morikawa,
name.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think those guys are big enough names to be face of a video game yet, but
But I don't
Could
even
be.
think they sniff. They don't even sniff 2K.
No.
Just for the course creator alone, I don't even think they sniff it. I'm gonna buy it obviously because
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of like video game golf, but I don't even think they sniff 2K, especially with 2K evolving and everything like that. I don't see them. I don't see that happening.
yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I just think it's going to be a fascinating war. I might do an analysis piece of it over the weekend.
Did they
All
give a date or no?
They haven't launched the date yet. The EA's next step is going to be they're going to announce a face of their game, and that'll be a big deal. But I just think that they're going to keep going back and forth. You don't think 2K is going to change their
Oh,
thing,
of course,
so
they're
you
going to
can play
ramp
as
up
the
their
pros,
stuff. Yeah,
so you can play as the pros because everyone's going to play as
I mean,
Tiger.
that's the
the
only
EA
downfall.
has.
That's the only downfall
That's
of
the
2K
advantage.
is you can't play as the pro.
So I just think the whole thing's gonna be fascinating. So I'm excited for that. So look for an analysis piece maybe this weekend. I'll probably end up writing it. But it should be. I just think the whole thing's gonna be fascinating. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Pat Ford has a show in 10 minutes, so we don't want to keep him waiting. But Masters weekend, we'll have coverage all weekend long. Probably a story on the cut tomorrow evening, and then maybe another story on Saturday evening, depending on how things play out. Also look for our Brooks Koepka story tomorrow featuring a doctor from University of Orthopedics, not University of Orthopedics. Well, I'm sure he did go to the University of Orthopedics.
Probably. He went to some orthopedic university. Yeah.
So, all right, it's fair enough. So anyway, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. Hope you all have a great Thursday. Enjoy the rest of the Masters this weekend, and feel free to chat with us anytime you want. We're always around. I'm not sure if we'll have any more live content over the next few days. We'll probably be watching. Well, you're working Saturday, but we'll probably be watching the next couple of days, at least 2 of the next 3 days together, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. So we'll keep you posted if anything comes up. We're doing a Masters primer or something like that. But real quickly, Mario says, I put my mortgage, not very smart.
Boy.
He put his mortgage payment on Angel Cabrera. How did he do today? Angel Cabrera is currently sitting in a jail
in a
cell
Brazil,
Brazil.
awaiting extradition to Argentina.
So he did great today.
Yeah,
he had a great
did
day.
great, yeah. Yeah.
Imagine
Imagine that going from a Masters champion to being in a prison in Brazil.
He
That's
was-
crazy.
He was even.
I actually read another article on him like last night or the night before. It was
Golf
fascinating.
Digest.
Oh,
had a
God,
story
yeah,
on
I
it,
sent it to you. Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really fascinating. I was like, I forgot all about him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
What was the charge? Was it
he had a number of
tax-
charges.
tax
He tried to
evasion?
beat the crap out of his girlfriend.
Out of his
He tried to
girlfriend,
run her
tax
over.
evasion, all that shit. It was
All
crazy.
kinds of stuff. He tried to
Yeah.
run his girlfriend over or something. Seriously, he did.
That's crazy.
So anyway, that's all we got. Stay tuned with us this weekend. We'll be back next week. Actually, next Tuesday will be Golf News Rise 1 year anniversary. So I'll have a separate post about that in the coming days. But thanks again to everybody for tuning in, and as we continue to try to build this thing and grow, which we are. It's been super exciting. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Pat Ford's up next with Blake Flippy. So tune into that, and we will talk to you all this weekend. Enjoy the Masters, and